Hello, welcome in. Hi guys, hope you're having a good Monday. Welcome in Darth, welcome in Rob Smith Dev. Thanks for joining me. I got my drink. It's sadly alcohol free, but yes, well needed. Happy Monday. Hope yous are well. Hey, Hot Doggo and Random. Oh God, everyone's in today. Hot Doggo, welcome along, Hot Doggo. I know your mum wasn't well. I hope everything's well, and I hope everything goes to plan. Hopefully, but yeah, welcome in, Random Bloke. Good evening, sir, and I hope the weather's okay up over your side, because I know there was a bit of there's a bit of bizarre snow warnings around the place at the moment. That's fun stuff. Anyways, right. Haven't done this in a little while, so forgive me if I'm a bit if I'm a bit rusty. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of work on my I'm going to do a little bit of work on my oh god, yeah, what's it called? DrawerGenie. This is off to a great start. So I won the Blitz tool, or the Amiga Tool Jam there last year, and which was kind of surprising, to be honest, but much appreciated all the same. So I have a big list of things that I want to do on DrawerGenie, which is the tool that won it. Yeah, so that's the plan. I'm going to do a little bit on that. Where have I left my thing? Oh yeah, there it is. So just cold and wet with no snow. Yeah, it's kind of like here, I suppose. It's been a bit warmer the last couple of days, but I guess it's probably going to cool down a little bit. But all good. I'm sure we'll survive. And Darth, where are you? You're down south somewhere, are you? 16 degrees. Croatia. That would do it. Yeah, cozy. Nice. Cool. Okay, so let me go. Where am I going? Sorry. Here we go. This is DrawerGenie. Sure. Nice. So let me know, by the way, as well. I've got some mods playing in the background. Let me know if they're too loud or too quiet, or what to do, because yeah, I've cobbled together this setup and it's not great, to be honest. But anyways, I'll just give a quick little recap. This is, well, you're all familiar with Workbench, and is what it looks like. This is my DrawerGenie. So if I run this, dun. Oh, it looks like I've already started work on what I was supposed to be doing. Now, let me see. Okay, fair enough. I'm going to turn that up just slightly. Bear with me a second. Okay. Cool. Grant. Okay, so I had already started work on this. I forgot. Now, so basically, one of the first jobs I wanted to do was to get it loading images. Okay, so I'm going to find the published version of it, if you like, which is over here. So DrawerGenie's here, and it looks like this. So if I run it, it does nothing. Cool, thank you. Hey, Amiga Gamer, welcome in. Thank you very much. It has been a while. Took a bit of a break. Busy Christmas, busy January, busy life. But there you go. So DrawerGenie is now running in the background, and when I press F1, I get this neat little toolbar that gives you some neat little things that you can do. So for example, if I can open a toolbar there, and I can set this as the destination, and then if I highlight these icons, I can send them to the destination, and they all show up like that. Hot Doggo, lovely to have you in, and I hope you can get some good sleep and take care of yourself, okay? But thank you for the wishes. Yeah, so that's what DrawerGenie is doing. It lets you do a few different things, like sorting by by date, by name. You can show like all icons or only files, and so that's kind of, or all files and only icons, that kind of thing. So it gives you a lot of the kind of the standard Workbench features that are hidden away in the menus, but in a little toolbar, because people like toolbars, and that was the plan, and it seems that some people like it. So that's DrawerGenie. I'm going, and one of the big requests for a feature that I got was to be able to load your own toolbar. And so the toolbar is just an image file. I'll show you what that looks like now. Literally looks like that. And what it does is it loads in this image file, and it just cuts out all of the icons and applies them as buttons. And that's all it does. So the intention is to be able to replace them. So there are a couple of things that need to be sorted out to do that. First off, it's a fixed 16 by 16 button size that these are, so I need to be able to change that. So that's the first thing, is to figure out how to do that as a setting. Second off, I need to I need to load in the images, and I need to be able to load them in sort of at any arbitrary size, and then I need to be able to remap them, because at the moment they just load in a sort of in pure old school Amiga bitmap format, and that means that the colors get messed up. The colors basically have to match Workbench. So you can see that they are the icons I drew in my programmer art here are all 4 colors, and that's because the first 4 colors are always kind of standardized in Workbench on the Amiga. So it's kind of a workaround for that. Is that a mod, or is that a car alarm I can hear? Anyways, yeah, so I've worked around that by just basically creating 4 color images. So black, white, grey, and blue, and they match pretty much everyone's Workbench. Once you get away from those 4 colors, things get a bit sketchy, because the palette can be adjusted to match whatever icons or whatever images are in the background and stuff. And then some people have graphics cards, some people don't have. So graphics cards are easy, because if it's a 24-bit screen, you just tell it the colors, and it just does the colors. If it's a kind of a, let's say, a 32 color screen, there's a bit of a fight over which pens have priority, and so there's a kind of there's a nice elegant way of dealing with that in Amiga OS, and I'm going to have to I will basically hopefully be adding support for that system, the pen system, to the code. But the Amiga show, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome along. Good to have you in, actually. How are things? If anyone hasn't watched that, actually, do you want to throw a link in the chat there for your channel there? And yeah, it's worth checking out. It's well, if you want to have a description of it there, but basically it's all made on Amigas, which is pretty awesome. So it's videos all made using nothing but Amigas, basically. So it's pretty excellent stuff. Almost, you can see I'm on the dry. So, yeah, so Amiga Ireland was a couple of weeks ago, and it was a heavy L session. It was a solid couple of days of booze, basically, and lots of Amiga stuff, and just more booze. It was good crack, though. Yeah, so, but yeah, that was fun getting back from there, because all the planes were oh dear. Yep. Sounds like me, all right. Yeah. But yeah, getting back from there, I think there were a lot of people were sort of flung all over Western Europe, to be honest. I know Terrible Fire was supposed to fly home on the Sunday night, and to Edinburgh, and he got as far as Edinburgh, and then the plane tried to land, and then it tried to land again, and then it was like, yeah, no, having none of this, and he ended up in Germany. So yeah, my flight was just flat out cancelled. Don't even bother coming to the airport. Just, good luck. Here's your money back, kind of thing. So yeah, so I got home on the Monday, But it was fun. Yeah, you were delayed till the next day as well. Yeah, there was a few of yous. Yeah, in that boat, weren't you? Yeah. Ah, sure. All part of the adventure. Anyways, yeah. So this is what I'm saying. This is what our toolbar looks like. So remapping will probably have to come later. So as an aside to all this, you may or may not know there's a toolbar system called AISS, and I'm not sure if I have it installed. Do I? Oh no, it is. So AISS is this system, and it's kind of it's aimed at sort of high-end Amigas or next-gen Amigas, and it gives a standardized set of buttons. So they're all based on the kind of the glow icon graphics, the Amiga OS4 look, and they looked pretty good. They look pretty good, to be honest. And so they are, I think, a 24 by 24 sized images. So, so basically, this is so one option for custom toolbars is to use AISS, and then the other is to use basically so anyone can go into Deluxe Paint and draw their own toolbar. So there are a couple of things, and it looks like, see, this is code from before Amiga Ireland, probably before Christmas, and I've kind of forgotten what I was doing. But so press use AISS. So that routine isn't loading. So the image include needs to be added. So where's my includes? So here we have our includes. So this is using Amiga Blitz 3 stuff, and Amiga Blitz 3 comes with a few includes that are very nice wrappers for the Amiga OS functions. The image includes, or the image include, is quite clever, and it does all sorts of things like supporting data types, so you can load different image formats without having to worry about it. It's all that kind of stuff. It just takes care of it for you, which is very cool. And it just looks like that. Oh my god, 83. So this is, that should be it. That should be that include working there. Precision not found. SLSM. Why? Screen.include is now not working. Why is that not working? Oh, have I stripped out some of ASL include? So screen include is cropping me up with an error here. So screen, so the image include obviously is including the screen include, so these things are kind of nested, so normally it's hidden away, but when it gives you an error it will pop it up for you. This is right, okay, so you know what, I'm going to go back to simpler option, because I don't know why that's not working. So ASL.include is missing its function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the ASL include, and see what's wrong with it. So we go in here, source codes, includes, and ASL. It's right, it is missing chunks. So I can't remember if this isn't. I think I've modified this for some reason. To cut it down because I didn't want the screen stuff. Okay, and now this is bitten me in the ass here. So, okay, that's going to be complicated to fix just for now. So I'm just going to disable that code then. And deal with it later. It's next week's problem. So we're just going to disable all of the that is exactly it. That's future Rob's problem. Let's just get rid of all of this, and what we're going to do is we're just going to disable it. So if you try to use AISS, it'll just give you an error and fall back to the toolbar. So basically the toolbar here is loaded. If dot So if it can't find it, it will search somewhere else. Now, okay, so see now we've got loads of 16s here. This is all hard coded. These are the button sizes. So yes, so these are our image sizes. See, they're all 16. So basically, this is this bit of code that cuts up the toolbar that you saw. So toolbar looks like, what did I say? Where is it? There. So the toolbar looks like that. Each of those little squares is 16 by 16. Ignore the purple around the bottom one. That's just my like drawing template because, yeah, really programmer art. So they're all 16 by 16. So first thing I need to do is add the button size to the preferences. Now initially I was thinking I just need to you know, say 16 or 24 or 32 or 8, maybe even someone will draw some really tiny ones. I don't know, but I think I actually need to have the width and height stored separately, so that for the few people who use a non-interlaced PAL or NTSC screen, so the pixels are twice as tall as they are wide, they can draw a 2:1 aspect ratio button bar, and so we can have that. So where are my settings? Prefs. So gadget size. Oh, I'd already put it in there. So gadget width, gadget height. So this is a new type. Anyone who's familiar with C will call that a struct. And yeah, so it's basically just kind of a special parent variable, if you like, that stores all these different values in here. So we've got loads of different things in here. So these are our preferences. Some of them are strings. So .s is a string, .w is a word, .b is a byte. So that is gadget width, gadget height. And we'll use them then to when we load our icons. Okay, so bitmap. Okay, so the width, oh, they were 16. So the bitmap, it's all hard coded because I was basically in a hurry to get this done for the jam, and that's how it was. 544 divided by 16 is 34. So the 34 icons, and that will probably change. I'm sure I defined that somewhere. Not there, but in here. 34 maximum icons. All gadgets, 34. There we go. So all gadgets is already defined. So where did we get that? So let's see. Process toolbar. Yeah. So the bitmap we set up has to be the right size. So what we're going to do is we are going to make it all gadgets. That's a constant. That's the number of all the gadgets. All gadgets times gadget width. Actually, I'm going to move my mic just a little bit because I have a clicky clacky keyboard and it's very close to the mic. So I hope that's a little bit better. Now, and we're going to multiply that by 2. Whoa. And 2 bit planes deep. We'll deal with the bit planes later on. That's all you know. Yeah, that's all about the colors I was talking about earlier. So, bitmap 0, all gadgets, prefs, gadget width, gadget height by 2. So it's 2 rows of gadgets. So we've got all gadgets. So it should be 30. So when we set them to 16, this should be 34 by 16, and then it should be 2 rows high. So it should still work if we set those preferences, give them default values of 16 and 16. So let's set them give them some suitable defaults. Where do we deal with the prefs? Press load. Oh, def prefs. That's a sensible name to give something like this. Where is it? def prefs. Whoa. That's what I meant to do. Gadget height, gadget width, both 16. And we also probably should set to by default not to use AISS now. Mostly everything seems to be just referenced through pref, so I'm actually going to clean up the code a little bit. I'm just going to default that. So that's how you access a new type. So the fields of a struct, as you would in BASIC, is with a backslash and then the field name. So do I have a use path already? So what you can do is you can set a default path, so when you don't specify the stem, you get this one. So do use helper. Oh yeah, no, I'm using it for the actual toolbars. Better not mess with that because I can't remember where I've used that. Okay, fine, we'll leave it as it is. Now let's see if it runs. Why? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I wonder if I was using a different version of Blitz. Watch this. And is that why it's doing funny things? So, Amiga Blitz 3.9. Where are we going? Amiga Blitz. Let's see. Let's close that. So I normally work in a much higher resolution, but because of streaming, to make it easier to read, I have it toned down to a normal 640 by 512. That's what's going on here. I think it's 3.9. That doesn't even ring a bell. So I've got too many installations and stuff like this. Let's just see. Work programming. Feb 23. That must be it. Which is why it's on the desktop or on the workbench. Let's see. It does look like I've previously used it for DrawerGenie, so let's have a look and see. Okay, this is the one I was working on, yeah. Oh, the colors are all over the place, but let's see, does that compile? Couple of changes between 3.9 and 3.8. So just the syntax and optimize are capitalized now. So you just have to get it to refresh them, and then it works. Procedure not found. Oh no, it's doing the same thing. So that's not the problem. I'm still slightly wary of using that version of Blitz. So see these aren't recognized, so we can get rid of them. I know it's because I still have the image include here, so it's still trying to compile in the stuff. Okay, so now we're somewhere. Gadget size is edit 10. Oh. Okay, so I'm storing the gadget size in the preferences. Actually, you know what? We're going to just change that gadget width, gadget height, because the preferences, I've changed the preferences file format. I've added these fields into it, but it's not published yet. So this, I can change them, and I'll only fuck up my own installation. So that's okay. Now, we got a bit further with the compiler that time. Oh, gadget size again. Where is that? Oh yeah, this is saving out. Preferences, width and height. That should be it now, no more. Maybe. Yay, there we go. So it opened the preferences. Okay, oh yeah, because it's already running as a background task. So we find it, there it is, DrawerGenie. Let's quit you. Now, boom. So now it's working. Unable to load press file, that's fine. Working, excellent. And there we have our gadgets. Everything's all hunky-dory. Cool. Okay, so DrawerGenie will remove you. Okay. So now that all looked fine. Size-wise, oh yeah, size-wise will be fine, even though it's doing the preferences. I didn't actually change the calculation. So 2 rows, 34 columns, starting number 0 to 33. So times so this will be the x point, j times for j. Oh yeah, so we're going across the way. So j is our x coordinate. So j times gadget width, and I times and then keep forgetting press gadget width, gadget height. Okay, let's compile that. Working still have our correct size there. Excellent, all good. Now that's cool, excellent, happy days. So now in theory, if we change the size of our gadgets, we can manually set the size, and it should work. So let's see, do we have another toolbar? Because a couple of people sent me toolbars. Let me see. Hey, Amiga Cami, welcome in. Welcome along. How are you? How are you? Good morning. I presume it's very, very early, but you're an early riser as far as I can tell. Oh yeah, no, that's the icon for DrawerGenie itself. Where did I put the toolbar? Oh yeah, 8 AM, that's not too bad. Fair play, yeah, Cami is in Tasmania, along with a bunch of my relatives, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, but good morning and welcome in. Toolbars. Aha! Oh, there we go. Look at those nice big chunky tools. Obviously too big for this screen, but there we go. Good stuff. So toolbars. So toolbar.iff. That's someone else's interpretation of the same 16 by 16 ones. So like right now that could just be swapped in. So I think I should just be able to copy that into the actual DrawerGenie folder here, and let's do that. Let's use DrawerGenie. Oh, it's not running. Yeah, we compile the main code. Let me see. So what we can do is just showing off another feature of it. So toolbars here, we're going to cut that and then we're going to paste it in here and paste, and there we got toolbars. So we're kind of changing how the toolbars work, and we're giving it that. So toolbars, so we've got toolbar.iff here, which is our standard one. So I'm going to call it yeah, let's use the icons again. Rename we're going to call, oh, too bad, no. Default. So that's our default toolbar. Thank you. There's a lot of people who said it's really, really good. And that, like, I'm quite pleased with that, because to be honest, I thought it was going to get slammed for being a bit clunky and not quite finished and stuff like that. But I think, you know, some of the key features are there, and so I think it's got a lot of potential over forever. It'll be a never-ending project, but eventually it'll be mature enough for the real world. Although, yeah, there were a couple of people actually at Amiga Ireland that said to me that they were using it, and I thought that's really cool. Excellent. So okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move all the toolbars into there, and so our default toolbar is going to be default.iff, and then that way we can keep them all there. So I need to go back into my code, DrawerGenie, remove that, and so we're going to set another default value. So where's def prefs? Do we have a toolbar prefs? No. Prefs def. What are we going to do? So that'll be our path, okay? Equals toolbars default.iff. Oh, cool. Yeah, so and this is for your 1200, I take it. Cool. Yeah. It's something nice about setting up a system from scratch and going about it that way. I like it. Cool. Well, enjoy, and I hope the toolbar is useful for you. So now there's so we're going to load in the toolbar path. So this will be a path to the toolbar. Okay, so now I just have to be careful here, because see the problem is, and this is a complication, like a lot of the stuff on the Amiga is very modular and it's very nice. You know, there's no registry like there is in Windows that kind of like means that files have to live in a certain place or anything like that. You can usually just drag things around. DrawerGenie and other programs like it are a bit of an exception to that, where it's less of a good thing, because they it's basically, because if you wanted to start up automatically with Workbench, you have to put it in WB Startup. So, but if you go to WB Startup and put it there, it is the rest of the files, like the toolbars and stuff like that, don't live in there. So it's just the program that's in there, and that's slightly that makes things slightly awkward, because you know the main toolbar graphics and stuff like that will be in Work or wherever it is that you put it. So you know, System, Work, wherever, and so you need to refer to them somehow. So I do have a way of sorting out that path, and I just have to make sure that I do that. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. Now I do work around it by what it does is DrawerGenie has a little tool type. So some programs use an assign, and that, you know, and you can set that to wherever it's installed, and that's fine. Sometimes, you know, some people don't particularly like the idea of an assign. So yeah, could do that. That's a possibility. I'm not really sure I like that idea. Now, there's nothing to say that can't be done, because what I've done is I've given it a tool type that tells it where it goes. So by all means, that can be put down as pref sys, and then it'll just work. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of putting things in there, so I might give it as an option in the installer. But what happens is, normally when you install it, it sets this tool type to the installation path, and so you don't have to actually do anything unless you move it, and then you just need to change it to the new path. But that's the plan. You can also set that in the preferences. So if you go into DrawerGenie, unable to find. Oh, right, fine. Toolbars. This isn't going to work properly. Yeah, because I've moved the toolbar, so the old version of it doesn't work anymore. Yeah, that's what happens. But I'll just make a copy of that. So default. Oh, here it doesn't. We'll put the old one there, so it works with that, and I'll show you what I mean. Toolbar. So now should work. If I go in here, so home directory is there, so you can actually also set it here. So you can choose it there, and it will save it then to the tool type for you. So you don't even have to know about the tool type. You don't have to know how to work the tool type. And if you saw there, if the files are missing, if you can't find the files, like for example, toolbar isn't there, just rename it something else. It will say, oh, yeah, I have to quit it, don't I? It will say, I can't find the files. Can't find toolbar, please select where the drawer is. So, and then that will let you choose the home directory, and it will set the setting for you as well. So you don't actually have to know or deal with the tool types. You can let it will sort of try and hold your hand as best it can. So it'll only do that if you've moved the files away or whatever, or if you've changed the code as I have here. So so maybe we should do do we actually need to include toolbars as that, or just the file name, and it will know where it is because it'll always be the base file path plus toolbars plus this name. I think that's the best way of doing it. So def prefs. So let's or should we keep the path in the full path to the toolbar? What do you think? Is it better to have the full path so the toolbar can be a separate place altogether? Or should they all be kept in one place? I think I will ultimately have a drop down. So it reads all the files that are in toolbars in the directory and then presents it as a drop down. So you can just choose which toolbar you want. I think that's probably the way I would do it. So yeah, so you want them all to be in one place. Okay. Talking to myself here, thinking to myself, thinking out loud, whatever it is. So default.iff, that's all we need, is just the file name of the toolbar. So where's process toolbar, process toolbar, process toolbar. Yeah, I'm sometimes a reasonable listener to myself, sometimes not, sometimes I think I'm crazy. Okay, so here we go. We're going to load the toolbar. Does exist toolbar. Oh yeah, so the toolbar file name. Yes, reverse engineering my code. So my own code. Toolbar file name, it adds the parts. So you've got the home directory plus I can't give this multiple parameters, can I? No, I can't. So we have to run it again. Now the reason I have a function for adding the file, so Blitz Basic treats strings like primitives. And it's very nice, very simple. You can do a string is equal to b string plus c string, and it will automatically just join the strings for you, and not a problem. Happy out. But Amiga DOS has I think it's Amiga DOS anyway, has a very nice function for adding actual path strings together. You see? And that's quite cool because it takes care of, does it have a trailing / or not, or does it have a colon on the end, or, you know, so it's not complicated, but it's a half a dozen lines of code that I don't have to worry about. And so it's nice that the OS has that function there to deal with that and to correctly form a full path when given other pieces. And this is just the Amiga Blitz wrapper for that. So DOS add part, or no, add part. Do that. So that should be it. Oh, I also have to add. Where's prefs? Toolbar hotkey. Toolbar string. Okay, so now that should be okay, PT toolbar FM string. Okay, so we have to do the same thing here. I'm just going to take this line. It's a shortcut in Amiga Blitz and Blitz Basic. They just delete and then undelete a line, and it's a nice way of just copying and pasting an entire line. You can't copy and paste as well, but you've got this undelete buffer, which is just, you know, it's just super quick for, you know, you don't even have to highlight the line. So I use that quite a bit. Yeah, it's amazing. I've got this kind of muscle memory for moving lines around and for copying, you know, creating multiple repeats of the same line. And then there was one version of Amiga Blitz where that crashed. That function crashed. And it's like I couldn't get more than about 30 seconds into coding before it crashed it. Because it was just such an automatic thing. It's just like move the line up, it's crapped itself again. Fair play. And for what language? Take it you're coding C then or something like that. Oh yes, yeah. So so it's a separate compiler. Yeah, that's fair enough. Sigma Set is nice. It's like it's a while since I've used it in anger, but yeah, it's a decent editor. And it does have some quite powerful shortcuts. You know, once you get into it. But it's a nice editor. How long have I been coding in Blitz? Pretty much always. Ever since they released a Blitz Basic 2 demo cover disc on either Amiga format or one of them. So 25 years? More? Something like that. Mid-90s, let's say. Late 90s. Whenever that was. So, but yeah, they released a demo version of Blitz Basic. Famously, that's where Worms came from. I think that was it. That they released a new version of Blitz. And it's the demo for it. And they held a competition for who could write the best game with that demo disc. And that's where Worms came from, as far as I know. That's the story. So, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, I always liked it. And I moved on to that from coding on my Atari 800. So, it was kind of, it was an absolute dream compared to that. But, yeah, in between, like, I was using QBasic and QuickC, do you know what? QuickC was actually all right. As a C compiler and stuff like that. Microsoft QuickC was decent. I did my university project with that, and it was no complaints. In terms of a DOS environment, it was actually quite cool. Yeah, and I'd done a bit with Dice C on the Amiga as well. Again, just using, probably even using Ed or some quite primitive editor, not a proper programming environment. So, like Quick C and Quick Basic have have a bit of an IDE going on, but Blitz Basic, when I got that was like, this is great. It was fantastic. But yeah, so it just kind of kept on at it since then. So that requests where the files are, and then it should add on. It should take the answer from that, add on toolbars, and add on the prefs toolbar. You know what? I'm going to go with just to simplify this, because it's starting to get a bit messy. And so the toolbar, it does add part. Toolbars and press. So that should be toolbars / default.iff or whatever. So now all I have to do instead is toolbar. That one is now TB string, and that means I don't need the extra line here. I can just do and that should be it. So now that should be our toolbar file name, and if we can't find it, then that's that. Then it quits if it still can't find it. Okay, that's fine. And then we fall out at the end of this loop if it does find a toolbar. Then we get it and we chop it up. Load bitmap toolbar fn string. So that should be it. Will we try it with a big toolbar? Oh, I have to also change the window size. Ooh. Add helper is where we make our window. When I say window, I mean the little toolbar window, because all that is just an Intuition window that's on top of the Workbench window and kind of follows it around. It's not actually. I'm trying not to hack the Workbench code, not to. Like, I'm doing a bit of delving into the Workbench structs behind the scenes, but I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible. So that's why it doesn't work on anything less than OS 3.5. Now, OS 3.1.4 and OS 3.2 are greater than OS 3.5 just because of version numbering and stuff like that, So that's just how it works. So it's just one of those things. Where's this? Oh, where's my sorry, I've lost my window now. There we go. Back to where we were. So this is basically how we do that. We're doing some of the stuff. We basically validate the window to make sure it's the right one by comparing the AREX most recent window with some width and height parameters, just kind of sanity checks, because without disabling multitasking too much, other windows can open and close without you, and that's not a good thing. It can pull the rug from under the program. Then you start trying to interact with pointers to a window that doesn't exist, and it just shits all over your OS, and that's the end of that. Crashy time. So we don't want to do that. We're trying to avoid that as best we can by locking Intuition for as short a time as possible, just checking that the window does exist and it's the right one, and then we go ahead with it. So so here's where we open our window. So helper width and helper height. So helper height is 18. So that's hard coded. So that is magic numbers. What's that? Prefs gadget height plus 2 because there's an extra pixel border around the toolbar. And the window width is actually the width of the workbench window minus the border widths, so that's fine. So that's the height of the window should be right. And now here's where we draw our gadgets, and so we need to space them out. So you'll see here that they're spaced but in multiples of 16. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so a gadget with the ID of 999 is not actually a gadget, that's a little spacer. So that's just gives it a 10 pixel gap. I might have to make that adjustable. If you're going to be using giant icons, you won't really be able to see the gap. Okay, so our X position. Ooh, that's an actual word. X position plus 16. This is where we calculated the coordinates of the next gadget plus so plus gadget width. It would just say that was 16 by default. So this should still work. Well, let's just compile it and make sure it's still holding positions with the default toolbar, and it can find the default toolbar. Oh, duplicate offset error. Did I already add that? I already added it. There it is. Look at that. Thank you, past me. That still looks right. That looks okay. Excellent. Cool. Deadly. Oh, I just realized I'm running with the debugger here, which is live fast, die young and all that. Yeah. Intuition was coded by Rob, was it? Was that not Carl Sassenrath? No? Did he do exec? Oh yeah. Yes, you're right. So Carl did exec and RJ did intuition. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. Well spotted. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. There we go. Completely and utterly lost my train of thought now. Where were we? Oh yeah. So we're fine. That's all working. So now no, you're fine. You're fine. So now we need to set the next toolbar. So we're gonna bludgeon it first. So prefs, def prefs. Okay. Prefs load and DrawerGenie. Is there? Do we have? We don't have a DrawerGenie preference file. That's fine. We haven't saved one. That's okay. That's what we want. So what are we going to do? So toolbars. We've got default toolbar. We've got toolbar underscore hd.iff. Let's do that one. I can't even remember who sent this to me. I better look that up. Very good. I better look that up and make sure I credit the guy, because he was very good. Gave me loads of cool feedback and also sent me those two toolbars, standard definition and high definition ones. So what we're going to do is we'll comment that, and then what was it? Toolbar hd.iff, isn't it? Wasn't that it? Toolbar hd.iff, and they are 32 by 32, I think. I know what they were before, but just because I'll look at this in another 6 months and I won't remember. Oh, let's see if it worked. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, and there's the parent. Go back to where it was. There we go. Refresh. New drawer. It works. It works. Let's delete that. Giant icons. Giant icons. Oh yeah, we've got it. I'm aware I've got a bit of a glitch there. I don't know how to deal with that because when you resize, it actually redraws the window. And the border is hand drawn. I'm faking it a bit. So this little, you know, this raised border, this bevel edge border, highlight and shadow, I'm drawing that by hand, and it's kind of clunky. So when it redraws, you sometimes miss it if it kind of falls at the right place and the gadget that it's on doesn't get redrawn. So it's something I'll have to tidy up later, but that's you know, way down the line. But yeah, so you can see a little glitch there where it's left a bit of the border on there. It's fine, yeah, but that's it. So, but you see what I mean? Normally there are spacers here and here, and I wonder, should I widen them? What do you think? Does that look like it's enough of a spacer? Still, like, you know, separates the toolbar. Or maybe I should have a spacer shape. Does still, yeah. And yeah, and between those two arrows there as well. But that's quite a nice drawing of a scissors, to be fair. I think they're nice icons. A visual spacer, yeah, just a little dotted line or a little indented line. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll do that. There you go. There's a good idea. DrawerGenie, remove you. So that's cool. Good progress. Good progress. Go team. I have my notes up at the top of this file for things to do. So what did we say? Oh yeah. Right, so that's there's my to-do list here. And adding extra window gadget. Oh yeah. Toolbar color remapping, support for AISS. Requires arbitrary sizing gadget instead of fixed 16 by 16. So that part is already done. So yeah, because I've tested it exactly once. You know, ship it. It's done and dusted. It's clearly going to work in every case, in every person's machine. No. So. We need to be able to set that. So should I, just thinking about this, should I set that value automatically? Or actually have it that the user can manually set it? Or, third option, have it as tool types where the user can set it if they need to, but normally it's automatic. I know I'm saving it to the file, to the prefs file. But yeah, tool types I think is right, a good, you know, a better approach. So gadget width and gadget height. Yeah. So the thing is that if I can automate it, how do I do that? Do I base it on the bitmap size? That should work actually, because we're loading. No, because we need to know the size of the bitmap before we load it. So when we load a new toolbar, we can automate it, but not for when the program starts up first. Now you know what? I think we can get the file size. Yeah, well that's the thing. It can be based on the height of the image, but see, I want to make it that it doesn't necessarily have to be square, because of people who run like 640 by 256 screens, for example, which, you know, so the pixels will be twice as tall. So you could have like 16 by 8 gadgets, and that's the, you know, so that's kind of one of those delightful Amiga things, a feature. But yeah, so what I'll do is, yeah, exactly, and it always amazes me because, you know, I don't like it, as in you know, whenever possible I'll run it in a square pixel mode, and I tend to write things with square pixel mode first, and then add support for, you know, 2x1 pixels or 1x2 pixels. But yeah, so anyway, we it works that we can set it manually. So let's see, let me think about it. So our default sizes, we'll set that back to 16 for now. And default. And I know this is running under emulation here because it's easier for the stream, I suppose. It's quicker. But my actual A1200 has a flicker fixer in it, which is nice because you get VGA output and it's square pixels. So nice and solid, no flicker and stuff like that. It's the way to go. But back in the day, I had a very, very old VGA monitor. It was an awful monitor, but I had that and my 1084 side by side, and I'd use one or the other depending on what I was doing. But it was before I got the scan doubler flicker fixer. I'd run when I'm doing coding and stuff like that, I'd run a double PAL screen mode and get a really nice solid, or double NTSC. It's you know, and I would run that, and that worked really, really well actually. But then I got the scan doubler. It's not an Indivision. It's one of the more basic ones. It literally just doubles the scan and doubles it, and it has a frame buffer on it. So it just does every second frame it'll deinterlace it, but it just doubles the frequency. It's simple as that. So it's like 25 years ago. So 25 years old. Oh yeah. Yes, yeah. No, RTG is the way to go. And this, even though this is a 640 by 512, it's actually an RTG screen. I just sized it low to make it nice and legible on the stream. But yeah, but it's yeah. When I'm normally coding, I would be using 1920 by 1200, which is the native resolution of my monitor, and that's really nice. Also, my other A1200 has a graphics card in it, and it does 1920 by 1200, would you believe? And it's a little bit slow. That's absolutely the limit of it. But yes, it is 1610. I do love a 1610 screen. Yeah, but it's kind of the limit of what my Voodoo 3 can do. But you know, still, considering it's a, you know, what is it, a 30-year-old computer with a 20-year-old graphics card in it. It's keeping up. It's keeping up. But yeah, it's nice to code on a screen that size as well, because Amiga Blitz likes a big screen mode because you've got all these extra windows, and you can have more windows along the bottom here with library command browsers and things like that. And it's nice to have access to them without having to sort of overlay them. I mean, you could put them on this screen, but you're going to reduce your code to kind of like that kind of size, and you're like, it's not really worth it. And then I sometimes run Blitz on OS4, and that goes one step better because that's also 1920 by 1200, but it also has font anti-aliasing, and it's just even nicer. You know, you can do a, you know, proper compographic fonts, you know, and it's just quick enough to pull it off. But yeah, anyway, there we go. Yes, some LCDs do. And the thing is, I have a couple of different monitors, and some of them do it, some of them don't. So an LCD TV almost always will deinterlace it, and that's quite nice. I have one of the Bank monitors, and that does not deinterlace it. But the Dell here I have is the U2410, and that's a 1610 monitor that does deinterlace, and it does a good job of it. So it's nice to have the deinterlacer on the machine itself, but yeah, depending on the screen you get, so once you've got your RGB signal, it does a decent job of deinterlacing. Now, let me see. So we've set our default values here again. So now what we'll do is when we're processing the process toolbar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, where's load bitmap? Oh, Trinitron, yes, that is nice. I had for a while, it was a Trinitron clone. It was a Diamondtron, and it was a lovely tube. It was 21-inch Diamondtron, weighed about as much as me, and my desk was literally bent from the weight of it. But what a beautiful monitor! And that ran 1600 by 1200 from the graphics card, and I could just switch it over and run that from the scan doubler. And now it was big pixels, but it was a nice big CRT for the games as well. And it was, I loved that monitor, but it died, and I couldn't really justify replacing it with a similar thing, because just moving a house and stuff like that, it was like, no, I don't have enough space for the bloody thing. It's just too much. So so I got the Dell instead at the time, which is a lovely monitor as well, I have to say. Yeah, I think 14-inch is the authentic way. I have a 1084 there as well. That's kind of comes out for special occasions, let's say. And yeah, it is nice. It's kind of, it is the authentic kind of. It's just the authentic feel, the 14-inch CRT. I actually started off when I got my Amiga. I had a 14-inch TV. It wasn't a Trinitron. It was a pretty cheap, lame TV, and it only had the RF socket in. So I started, when I was talking about starting my Blitz coding, that's all I had. So I had my A1200. Did I have the N64 then? No, but no, I had the A1200, and I had that plugged in via RF, and it's probably why I'm wearing glasses, to be honest, is because that was brutal on the eyes, absolutely brutal. But yeah, they can see the 1084s. If you're lucky, they can come up. So I got this one a while ago when they weren't such crazy money, and it was a local guy who was just kind of like, wants to get rid of. So it wasn't expensive at all. But they're crazy money now. They really, really are. Yeah, so I did have a 1084 back in the day, and that died. And at the time, it kind of wasn't worth anything. People were just chucking them, and so because it was broken, I chucked it. And it's sad, really, because I probably could have fixed it nowadays. But then again, I would have been lugging around this dead 14-inch monitor for 15 years, so, or 20 years, whatever it was. Anyways. But you know what, the 1084, I used that for my N64, my original one, because I did get an N64 in 97 or 98, and I ran that through it as well as my Amiga, and it was great. Yeah, I was trying to think, when did I get that was about when I got the Diamondtron as well. And so yeah, so I think that was it. Yeah, I think that the 1084 died around then. And I put it in the attic thinking, one day I'll repair it, and I ended up dumping it a while later. But yeah, the Diamondtron replaced that. But for a while I had the N64, and that was great. It really was. Okay, now, so we're loading the toolbar here, but we need to find out what the toolbar is first, what size it is, and for that we do, it's called ILBM info. think. Is that it? Excellent description there in the help. ILBM. Oh yeah. Okay, so you you examine it first, and then so ILBM info foobar. Okay, and then it was ILBM width, wasn't it? Okay, so that should give me the width of the bitmap that's in that file. So this method will depend on people doing it right, as in not leaving a big blank bit of bitmap around the toolbar. But you know, yeah. But yeah, we can allow them to manually set the size if we want. So width and bitmap height. We can allow them to change the tool types. That's what I was trying to say there. Yeah. So ILBM width, ILBM height. But yeah, no, 40 euros is pretty good for a Trinitron of any description, to be honest. That's awesome. Now, bitmap width, bitmap height. So we've just calculated the width and the height there based on the size of the gadgets. But that's not what we want. So what we're going to do now is we're going to calculate the gadget width is equal to bitmap width divided by 34, hoping that they've got it pixel perfect. Gadget height is equal to divided by 2. And for now we'll keep it at a depth of 2. So the last parameter there is 2 bit planes deep. So for now we're not dealing with the color aspect, so that should be fine. Let's see if it works. Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? And I'm going to turn on the debugger. I keep on forgetting to do that. But the debugger isn't perfect, but it's good at catching things before they crap themselves. Right. Where did I put that? See, yeah, for this clicky keyboard is actually a bit rubbish. I think I've had a rant about it before, but it was a Logitech G512. It wasn't a cheap keyboard, and it was a gift to me. It's probably not one I would have bought myself, but it is rubbish. It's got a very nice base to it, very nice, milled aluminium base and all that kind of stuff, and RGB lighting on it and all that kind of stuff. But there's no point in having all this fancy stuff if you can't get the basics right. And loads of the switches are Cherry style switches, but they're Logitech's own clone of the Cherry switches. So they're using their own switches in there, using the same color coded system as the Cherry. So they should, in theory, be one-to-one matches. But they're rubbish. You get so many repeated keys, and that's I know my 4 key, which is the dollar sign is on, is a pain, and it keeps on repeating like that. Random Bloke, thanks very much for coming in. I should give you a shout out. Random Bloke is a streamer, very, very nice, relaxed streams. Let's see if I can get this right. Oh, you've got an awkward name to type. Oh. Oh dear God, yeah. See, rusty. But thanks. Yeah, he gives it lovely, relaxed. That should be a lowercase bracket. There we go. Casual, exactly. There we go. So yeah, he does casual gaming streams. Always very nice and relaxing. Just get a cup of tea or a beer and sit down and watch. So yeah, talk to you again, Chris. Good night. And now, yes. So anyways, yes, rant about the keyboard. So that's what happened there. Sometimes the 4 will type twice. And yeah, it's very annoying. So yeah. I also wrote to them about it and they kind of said, well, tough, basically. We can sell you a newer, better keyboard. I'm like, no, I don't think I'll ever buy a Logitech keyboard again. Because they used to be good. Anyways, like, having said that, I didn't buy this one, so that's it. But yes, also the keycap, the stems of the keycaps crack very, very easily. I'm not someone I would think of as hard on a keyboard, but there are a few keys that just came loose because the stem isn't tight anymore because it's just got these little hairline cracks in it. It's like brutal. It's a shame. Anyways, there we go. Bum bum bum. So okay, so this should be it. Bitmap width, bitmap height. Gadget width, gadget height. So let's try it out. Compiled. Did it work? That looks like it works. They look like the right size, don't they? They look good. Yeah. Cool. Excellent. That all works. And nothing on the debugger. That's cool. Excellent. Happy days. This is all going suspiciously well. Let's see. What else have we got? Oh, excuse me. So we've got bit my waist, bit my height. So that okay. So let's try it with the new toolbar then. So all we have to do is change the toolbar name, and it should automatically load the new one. Process toolbar. Oh no. Where's our def prefs? Def prefs. Okay, so default.iff, we're going to change that back to it's not case sensitive. I just kind of like minor touch of OCD matching the case there, but it doesn't matter. It's not case sensitive. Now, here's the test. Did it work? Haha! All you do is change the file name and it loads the buttons and sizes them correctly. It's working. Haha. Slightly glitched there, yeah, don't mind that. Oh. This is our drop down. Our drop down isn't taking into account the new size of the window. So that's the next thing to fix. Cool, we can do that. So that's in here now. I'm sure there is a helper, open a helper. A helper is in these terms, in the terms of this code, one of the it's closed. One of the toolbars. That's a helper, a window helper. Because originally this was called drawer helper, and I wasn't kind of happy with the name, but it was kind of like just a working title because that's what it did. It helped you with your drawers. I couldn't think of a better name. And then there was drawer companion, and then that was just too much of a mouthful. So my wife said, why don't you just call it DrawerGenie, and you can have like an icon of a lamp. I was like, yeah, there you go. So that's where that came from. But a lot of the internal stuff are, they're still called helpers, the entities. Each kind of like little It's not a task, but it's a toolbar is a helper. I'm just going to check. I've never tried the other toolbar, the third toolbar. Let's try that. See if it works. Yeah, that's a clean looking toolbar. Not to worry, not to worry. He's a good guy. He's an Amiga guy. He occasionally streams retro stuff, but most of the stuff he streams is kind of modern games, but City Skylines, kind of quite relaxing games a lot of the time. Occasionally does more actiony stuff, but a lot of the time it's just a relaxing chat and a stream. He's a Scottish guy. He's also occasional member of the Scottish Amiga users, or well, occasionally shows up to the meetups and that. So there you go. Okay, so yes, our little drop downs. Where did I put the drop downs? Yeah, do absolutely. Open drop down. That sounds promising. Pop up height. There we go. Here's all our magic numbers again. So the height is equal to 16. So yes, we're making it +2 plus pop up y is equal to gadget height +2. Oh, we need to import our prefs variable. Prefs. Hey, I see what you did there. Well, we've still got plenty here, Rob. Look. Oh, God. Yeah, this is a... Yeah. Crunch time. This is what happens. Because I think I had it like a week to go before the deadline or something like that. And I kind of like, you know what would be nice? Drop down menus. Or drop down toolbars. And I kind of like, oh, God. So all hard coded with pixel offsets and whatnot. I'm like, oh, Christ. Anyways. Yeah. Infinite RAM, infinite CPU speed, and infinite storage. Yeah, you know what? There's an idea now. Just you're planting little ideas there. That's not good. Oh, there you go. Look, I'd forgotten about that actually. Bad Rob. It's another thing I need to fix. Is that the pop-up toolbar only stays open when the mouse button's held down, but it reads the hardware for the mouse button. So I need to disassociate that, detach it, and use the OS properly. But it was just, yeah, it was too much of a faff. It's on the list. Yeah, much later. All of these things, all of these cans are cans that I'm kicking down the road. So the width of this window is gadget width +2. So mini pop-up window. It's fine. And now we need to align all these icons. Good load. Press gadget height +1. It's copy and paste time. Times 2 + 1. Gadget height times 3 + 1. current gadget is equal to... Oh, look at this. It's even hard-coded mouse coordinates. Oh, that's... MX. So. We can... anyone know, like, less than and equal to? Is that quicker CPU wise than less than whatever it is plus 1? I don't care. It's not a tight arcade game I'm doing. It's fine. A few extra CPU cycles. I'm multiplying and dividing all over the place anyway. It doesn't matter. It's a couple of an extra add is not going to cause the issue here. So that's gadget height. Gadget height and okay. Okay, GT bevel box. Width +2. Now, that might be... Let's see what that looks like for the drop down. Drawer height. What? What's drawer height?
Thanks, Jim. We're going to take a break.
Press gadget height. That should be it. That should be it. Okay, so it still works at 16 by 16. There's our drop downs. Cool. So let's change that to the HD version and 2-bar HD and compile that. 2-bar. Now, let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? That should have actually redrawn that because it's clear space. No, almost. Almost. Spacing is right. And the drop down things, because I'm faking the... Well, I'm faking the gadget hover thing here because I'm holding down the mouse button. By activating the gadget that it's over manually. And that seems to work. It goes all the way to the edge and cool, that works. The only thing that is wrong is the X position. Hey, there it is again. Open, drop down. Pop up X. Gadget X pause. Gadget X pause. This is an array of all the gadget positions. So they're pre-calculated gadget positions. Why is that? Where's that calculated? Am I calculating that here? No. Gadget pause, max gadgets, yes, fine. Oh, there's a lot of commented out code. Oh. There it is. So it's calculating the X position. It does it separately. Why am I doing that? I can't remember. Can the toolbar image use more colors? Not for now. Yes, it can. It's very easy to do that. I can just up the number of bit planes, but at the moment it doesn't do any color remapping. So I know you have a very tightly controlled palette, and that wouldn't be a problem for you. So in theory, yes, it could for your needs. The problem is someone else draws a bitmap and they just kind of put red in it, let's say, and there's no red on the workbench. How will that map? Will it be dithered, or will it be will it go to the nearest color, or will it just be like green? You know, because that's position 4 in the palette, or whatever, position 5. So at the moment it's just completely it's just based on the bit planes. There's no color mapping at all. That's something for another day, maybe. I'll have to see about mapping the colors. But yes, at the moment I have it restricted to 4 colors, but there's absolutely no reason I can't change that. Hey, Prince Faze, welcome in. How are you? Welcome in, welcome. We're doing a bit of blitz coding. My DrawerGenie can now do custom sized toolbars, and we're about to start work on custom colors, I think. But I'm trying to figure out if I can do that now. But we'll see. Anyway, it seems to be mostly working. I need to add the preferences actually for setting the toolbar up. That's what I need to do. But anyways, for now, I think that should have fixed the offset problem. Let's just run it and see. Giant chunky toolbar, yes. Nope, it hasn't. Why is that? Why has that not fixed it? Okay, let's go back in here and look at this. No, that's just recalculating it. It's calculated somewhere else. Where is it calculated? Here. Pop-up X. No. Aha. Calculating it in 2 different places. Same code in 2 different places. It's terrible. Terrible idea. So X position plus gadget width. Instead of 16 pixels, we're doing it. So that's when it's at the preferences. Okay, so it's after it's loaded. That'll be a problem if I'm trying to load the preferences there. So chicken and egg situation here, because we're loading the preferences. We don't know the gadget. We don't know the size of the gadgets until we've loaded the path name. So we have to calculate the X positions somewhere else later. Why am I calculating it there? Just for laziness. Gadgets. So this is just cut. Why am I? What am I? It's. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing that there. But basically, I'm just pre-calculating gadget positions as I load them, which isn't necessary. Well, I suppose it's kind of efficient, but we don't need to do it that way. What we'll do is we'll just copy that code out and we put it in a separate function and run it later on. Let's put it up here. Calculate buzzes. Okay. So calculate X position, and we import our prefs in our gadget X position. Let's just move this over a bit. 4. So last gadget. What's the last gadget? Def prefs. That's hard coded a lot. No, it's not. It's just that's a default value. So saying default of 30 different gadgets available in the main toolbar. So that's not counting. There are 34 different gadgets. Some of them are only available in the drop downs, so that's why it's 30, I think. Okay, so we also need a gadgets array. Last gadget, gadgets I. Yes. Gadget expose gadgets I. Yeah, so the problem is you're reloading in the gadgets and they aren't necessarily in the same order all the time. So that's why we have to calculate the X positions on the fly while the not while the prefs are being added, but I think that's kind of how it evolved, is because initially you couldn't change the positions of the gadgets and now you can. So I added that in the code, which is but that should be it then. So calculate X position. So we'll do that after we load the prefs. So default prefs. So this is doing read gadgets, and then we're trying to, then we calculate it. So we're gonna, yeah, let's disable that. And we'll do and then we call that routine that we've just moved instead, because we have it in multiple places and that's a terrible way of doing things. So we do need to load in enough for last gadget. So okay, gadgets. But we're not calculating our gadget width or gadget height here, so we don't know them until we actually process the toolbar. So we're going to disable that. So gadget width and gadget height. I think we said if we need to, we can have an override in the tool type. So we should store them in the tool types instead, and not store them in the preferences file. But what we need is to process the process toolbar. That's where we're actually calculating the toolbar. So we need to so we don't get our gadget width and gadget height until we're just about to load the bitmap. No, so that's loading the toolbar and blitting them, but it doesn't actually lay out the window. But that is as good a place as any for running the Let's see. Let's see if we calculate our X positions from there. That should work because we've loaded our toolbar in then. Let's see. Does it work? They look correct. Oh, yes. There we go. All works. Beautiful. Happy days. Happy days. That's all good. All good. Excellent. Happy out. Ha! I shouldn't be that surprised, but you know, I'm a little bit rusty here. I haven't looked at this code in about 6 months. Or yeah, probably 3 months maybe. But yeah, that works. Excellent. Cool. Okay, so I think that is everything for the size. Let's just switch it back and make sure everything all works then. Def prefs. So let's change back to normal size toolbar. And we run it. And everything should line up still. Looks good. Yes, 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 yes. Cool. Excellent. Happy out with that. Okay, so now we need to add it to the preferences. So if we go and look at the preferences window, this is what it looks like. DrawerGenie show interface. Preferences. I do have a toolbar.iff. Oh, now here's the thing. I know I've written this in kind of terms of building up the path itself, but this is actually inserting the path. I don't know if I really want to do that, do I? Toolbars, toolbar hd.iff. So should I change it back and just keep it as a relative path? Or is that messy? Because it's not a relative path. That's dangerous. I think I have to write a custom list with that. To enumerate them manually, because it can't. Oh, or can I? I think I just want a list of all the files that are in the toolbars directory, because it's not going to be relative from the from where the program is run. Oh, I don't know what to do there now. Cool. Thanks very much for dropping in, Rob. Great to have you here. Great to chat. And yeah, if anyone doesn't know Rob Smith Dev stuff, go and check it out. He does some pretty awesome stuff with floppy drives. Excellent stuff. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Do you have a link you can drop there before you go? I don't have one to hand, but you'll find it easy enough if you Google it. Drawbridge is an example, and you've got a couple of different things based on the so using a floppy drive on the PC and on the Mister, and a few other things like that. Yeah, thanks for dropping in. I have to ponder this now, see whether I do actually want to, because I've already written that. I must have had that idea before to just choose the path. Maybe I will just change it to just using the path. Okay, you know what? I'll just do that, because I clearly had that intention before. I'd forgotten about that now. So our def prefs then. Oh, move. Oh, we're already there. Ha. It would be toolbar.iff. But how do we? That's the default. No, because we always want it to be relative, because the default... This is a pain. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to come up with another window for doing that. Slightly annoying. Actually, you know what? I don't need a window for that. All I do is create a cycle gadget with all the names in it. Okay, so enumerate toolbars. We need a function for that. Let's just do it here. Function. It's a word function. Get toolbars. List toolbars. List toolbars. And check prefs. That's what we want, isn't it? And then end function. Okay, so what we need to do here is just basically count the number of files in the toolbar directory. So tbdir string is equal to prefs okay, so is equal to add part so that's what I was saying before. This adds the two together regardless of whether there's a trailing colon or a slash or whatever. It just tidies it all up, makes a legitimate path. Now, reading the directory contents. I'm gonna have to look at the DOS documentation. DOS, so they examine the directory and then we loop through the entries. Get next file. Presume. Get next arg. I'm sure there was there were functions in the DOS library wrapper. Create DOS list. No, DOS list is a different thing. DOS check. What's DOS check? No, that's basically touch. File list. Get scander. There we go. DOS pattern for matching. We don't want that. Flags, there's files and sorting. Is that what we want? Let's see. DOS scander. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at this code because I'm not 100% sure on that. Let's see. I guess it would be something like so we need a list of toolbars. What way? toolbars. Okay, let's go back a little bit here. We need an array to hold our toolbars. Gadget list item. Dim list. Windows icon list. Okay, they're all to do with the actual workbench handling gadgets. All gadgets. This is more, yeah. This dim list. Toolbars. Can I do a string as a list? Are you gonna have a hissy fit? No, works. Cool. So this is when you define an array with the list keyword, that's telling Blitz Basic that it's a dynamic list, and that means it doesn't have a size, as in the array doesn't have it can be any size, and every time you add an item to it, it just adds it onto a chain. So it's simple enough to work through like that. And yeah, so we just want to get the toolbar names then. So toolbar string. That's an array. Okay, so repeat. Or no, we'd want that while. So this is how we're adding an item to it, and we have to make sure that we are able to add an item, because if we can't for whatever reason, we'll be probably running out of RAM. Bad things will happen. Toolbars. So toolbar is equal to what? Where's the result of scander? Because it looks like it returns a number. Yeah, so, okay, we'll leave that there, park that for a second. We're going to go and open that include. So let's go to where's includes, DOS include. Okay, now, scander. What a scander. Call this function. See, this bit could have been in the actual documentation, or was it? No, doesn't. See, result.string. Okay, call this function in a loop until it returns an empty string. Okay. So that's what we needed. Oh, that makes this for a slightly awkward loop. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So we need a temporary variable so we don't end up with an empty entry in our list. So let's scander path is tbdrs. So then, so if it's not an empty string, we'll do this. We add our item, add the name to the list, and then that's it. And then, let me see. 2 bars. And we'll just add one to the result. So I don't know if we'll even use it, but we'll add, but we'll return the number of entries that we find. Sorry. It'll do for debugging if nothing else. But what we should do is so this is a compiler numerical if. So if we're in debug mode, it'll compile in this thing. So when you turn off the debug mode, it doesn't even compile in these lines. So it's kind of, yeah, it doesn't even have to, it doesn't waste CPU time on them or anything like that. Okay, so toolbar found. So we should get a list of the toolbars that it finds. Turn on debugger. Oh, it was on. Of course, I haven't actually called that function, so but that should be fairly near the start. So, oh yeah, so I'm setting the requester there. I'm not sure about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and let me think. So potentially we could open the prefs window here. So we kind of need to do it before then, don't we? It has to be called before the prefs window. So list toolbars. Yeah. Okay, so so TB count. TB count. That should be it. I've said that before. Why? What? Uh-oh. Oh, have I made an infinite loop? Oh, what have I done here? Oh, create file list. That list toolbars, prefs toolbar, DOS. I'm gonna get it to stop there. I'm gonna step through this and see what happens. Oh yeah, it's gonna run to infinity, right? Okay, now Okay, so now it should fall off. So yeah, it listed them all, and then it does have bars, press home there and toolbars. Maybe that's it. Toolbars found 0. Okay, well at least it's falling out of the loop. Now why are you getting 0 toolbars? So we just get a printout of the directory just to see if we've got the right directory even, because we may not. Checking their toolbars for toolbars. Yes. Toolbars for, okay. Checking their toolbars for toolbars. So press home there. Okay, but that should still work, surely. Let's see where it's actually, what it's actually doing. Yeah, shut up. That can't be good. Oh, I think bad things are happening now. Have we actually checked for the toolbar yet? We haven't even opened the window yet. It's able to open the local file, no problem. So, yeah, so I'm just going to see if I can create a standalone executable. Does that work? We're going to compile it in there. Oh yeah, so yeah, we're not going to get debug output, of course, because it's running from Workbench. Yeah, because you're already running. Toolbars found. Checking their toolbars for toolbars. What you doing? Checking their toolbar for toolbars. Why can't you find it? Why can't? What's going on here? Maybe this just is. Maybe I'm just not using this right. So. Oh, of course, I don't need the quit variable after all. Scan. Scan dir. Oh, I need this flag. That must be what it is. Repeat. So we can do without all this faff. Repeat until well, I still need to do this if TB names equal to that. So we still need to check that because we don't want to store an empty one until, yeah. And then we need to add that parameter here, which is that one. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, what does type mismatch? Why? What? Pattern. Oh. Checking for 2 bars found 0. So this is, oh, sorry, I'm not paying attention at all. Not paying attention at all. Wildcard here. Wildcard. Yeah, there we go. Now, toolbars. Default.iff. Toolbar.iff. Okay, so that's fine. We're finding toolbars. Now we just need to store, well, I've stored the names in a list. Plus file part. So we don't want to store the toolbar as part of the word. So we're just going to do that. Hey, Amiga Build's illegitimate son. How are you? Welcome in. How are things? Good to see you. Doing a little bit of blitz coding here. We're getting somewhere. Trying to get some slightly tricky stuff working, but we're getting there. So we've got this toolbar string list, and we're only storing the names of the toolbars in there. That should be it, and then that's what I'll put in the gadgets. So I'm just thinking. Press toolbar. What's Angular? Do tell. Is that a vector program of some sort? That's what it sounds like to me. Okay. All right. Fair enough. One of the newfangled things I don't have any exposure to. Okay. So this is the press toolbar gadget. We're going to rid of that one. I've made a copy of it here, and that one we're going to do we're going to change that to a what do they call it? Cycle. And this is slightly awkward, so we have to generate the options here. So what's the list of what's the list of toolbars? That'll be it, won't it? Better be. I need to do this as a standard array. I just realized. I need a toolbar count. Let's go back and do this again, because I just realized to when you do a cycle gadget, the answer you get from a cycle gadget is a number, and that number will that number is the number of the item, like so starting at 0 for the first item, 1 for the second, 2 for the third. So I need a way of looking up the actual toolbar name from that. As I could kind of cycle through the list I have to that point. Actually, maybe I'll just do that. Yeah, I'll just do that. Reset list. Toolbars, toolbar string. And then next time. So now we're going to cycle through each item. Next item, toolbars. We do we just add on toolbars, and we have to count them as well, because we need to put in little bars, don't we? So if we have more than one option, what we'll do is we stick a little bar in. So the format of the option string for a cycle gadget is something like this. I'm just going to type it here for clarity. Is looks something like that. So I have to construct something like that with a little pipe character in between them. So that's what I'm constructing here. So if we're not the first option, we'll put a bar in before the option. So that means it's only when we have an option available we'll add one, and it's not the first option. Yeah. This is a weird tune. Weird. Oh, that's nasty. You know what? I'm skipping that because that is nasty. Why won't you work? There we go. Yeah, that it's like, yeah, basically not really, well, not my kind of music anyway. And I'm pretty tolerant. Okay, so this is it. So this is how Blitz Basic treats strings. You can just use them as primitives, like a number or something. You can just add them together, which is quite nice, and you don't have to declare the length of them or anything like that. It's within reason. It works really well. So we should have our options string built there. So our cycle gadget now has the ID x, y, width, to my height, flags. Oh, text, flags. Yeah. And then options. Oh. So we have to check as we go. And make sure we have the right number, so we can select the right one. Slightly clunky, I think this is, but it'll be okay. Current option is equal to toolbar count. TB count plus 1. Okay. So that should be it, and we should end up with something like that in our cycle gadget. And then current option is our selected one. So that should match what we have in our settings. Yeah, no, I know. Blah, 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 blah. That one. We found 3 toolbars. Let us see. We have 3 options. The text is blank in all of them. Dear. Nearly. So close. Okay, we should make this a bit wider as well because we don't have our select gadget on the end of that one anymore. What am I missing here? Open prefs. So list toolbars. So we have toolbars there. List toolbars. Toolbars. Add item toolbars. And toolbars DOS file part. Toolbar names. Okay, let's change that too. Let's just make sure that we're getting the information and actually storing it. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, they're the 3 names. They're what we want. We know that, so they're definitely in the array because I've read them out of the array there. So, show interface. Oh, pants. Okay. So, more debugging, open prefs. Where's open prefs? So let's see what our options looks like. We should call there to basically, if you try and do some debug output, you have to turn up just after opening a window. It will your debug output will overwrite the window instead of going to the console. Oh dear. But it's not Easter. It's not Easter yet. You'll only regret it. You'll only feel sick. Tempting. Oh, you know, speaking of stuff, I have the remnants of a Terry's chocolate orange here from Christmas. Mm. Okay. Sorry. So let's see what our option string looks like. God damn. So now we'll see if our option string is being built right. Show interface. Option string has just got 2 bars in it. Why? So it's correctly going through here. So 2 bars. Oh, it's looking at a toolbars variable, not an array. There you are, you little bastard. Boom. There we go. Default toolbar, toolbar. Ah, look at that. That's what we wanted. Edit. That's actually just changing the actual gadgets. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this, the width of the gadget, and I think I'll probably leave it there for now. Oh, don't start with jams. This is ruling my life. Ruling, not ruining. Yeah. It's like, I have ideas as well for a game jam, and it's yeah. I kind of half don't want the jam to come up because I just don't have the time, and then half I need to get this idea out of my head. No, that was a bit of a shock, to be fair. And a game jam is a different story, all right, because well, where did I come in the Blitz game jam? Is mid-table obscurity anyway, nowhere near anything, because there were some cracking games that were far more impressive. So it's a hell of a lot of work that's gone into that. It really is an incredible game. Now I haven't played it since kind of there were some test versions in the early-ish days of the jam. Well, I when it kind of like was taking shape, but there'd been a lot of work done to it since. I really must give it a go, a proper go, like sit down and play it. Excuse me. Now, the width of the toolbar, or the width of the gadget, is here. It's 150 pixels wide. How wide does it need to be? 150. So the button is ID, width. Oh, sorry, X, Y, width, and height. So the X is 210, and the width is butt height. So I have to make. I guess no, they're butted up against it, so I just have to add on button width to this. So it's 150 button width. Let's try that. No, there isn't a button. But W, it's a butt height, because I see there's a butt. Yeah, there's these other variables. It's a mess. They're different naming conventions. It's not ideal, but it's because one's for the gadgets at the bottom and one's for the small in between gadgets. Let's see what that looks like. DrawerGenie, show thyself. There we go. Matches up. Boom. Spamtastic. Do. Spam. Ooh, I can't mod that. Why can't I mod that? Ah, lads. Wait 2 seconds. Let's sort that out. Why didn't have automod? Actually, that's kind of annoying. Anyway, hold on a second. Cool. There we go. Excellent. Right, now, anyway, where were we? Yes, so look, buttons line up nice and even there. Happy out. It's not the neatest of windows. I probably need some sort of divider thing down here, or to regroup things in more logical ways. Anyways, that's looking okay. I can choose them. I haven't actually wired that up in the background yet to do anything. So I suppose I should probably do that. Last thing, I suppose, the get prefs, I think is what I called it, isn't it? Get prefs. So this reads the preferences. Okay, and I haven't actually done anything with the Okay, so what I need to do is toolbars, and toolbars string reset list. TB count, isn't it? TB count. Next die. So what we're going to do is let me see. Oh no, not TB count. So what we want to do is so So we need to read the currently selected item in the cycle gadget. So get attributes. And then it's GTCY underscore active, I think. Let's see. Constants. G cycle active, yeah. There's a nice little thing that Blitz has here for just looking up all these constants and stuff. Oh dear. Sorry about the music. I was offended by that. Current option. Okay, so and then we're going to go to current option. Next item. So X is next item, toolbars. So if we get that, so 0. So that will give 0, 1, or 2. So actually, so we should start at 0. So if the 0th option is chosen, it will just cycle through once. If the first option is chosen, it will cycle through twice, and if the second option, it will cycle through three times. Thrice. So next item, toolbar string. And then that should be it then. Toolbar. That should do, shouldn't it? Let's see what that does. Now, mismatched types. TB count. .w. We have to declare that somewhere because go. Toolbars found 3. So DrawerGenie show interface. We're going to go to toolbar HD. We're going to use that. Toolbar HD. Cool. Oh, it didn't reset it. It didn't reset it. Why not? Toolbar HD. Use. Toolbar selected, toolbar HD. So show interface. It's not making the connection in the open prefs routine. If toolbar is equal to, oh, because I've done the same thing again, haven't I? I forgot that that's not an array, and that should be it. Amiga Blitz will normally flag that when you... Oh. We're so close. We nearly made it.
Oh dear.
Oh, 1 on the crash counter. But yeah, Amiga Blitz will normally catch those bugs where you know, an undeclared variable will, you know, because in the Blitz 2 default behavior is when you use a variable, it defaults to a certain type without having to explicitly declare it, and that leads to bugs because you end up in a position where you don't have where you don't have it defined. So you know, so it just uses it. It thinks it's a new variable instead of the variable you wanted it to use. So the only time that doesn't happen is situations like that where there's a string involved, because it declares strings implicitly anyway, which is kind of annoying. I wonder if there is a way of changing that, but for now, we're fine. Let's go back to where we were. Let's try again. Turn on the debugger. Does that work? Okay. Oh, I can't see anything. Can't see anything. Let's just go here. Okay, toolbar is loaded. Seems to look fine. DrawerGenie, show interface, option string. So toolbar. So let's say we say, oh yeah, it was already set to toolbar. Excellent. Toolbar HD. It's because toolbar was a default. So toolbar HD, and now show interface, toolbar HD. Excellent. It is stored that. Now, do we see if that saves the setting? Now, it isn't loading. It once it's started running, it doesn't. The settings don't take effect until it's restarted. So let's remove it, and let's try again. Let's try again. Can't. Oh fuck. Excuse me. Load bitmap. Can't find IFF body. How is that after? That's ended up with a blank. Scorpion is fantastic. Like, it really is. From what I've seen, Scorpion is amazing. It really, really is. Now, you know, there's so much, like, it's kind of like incredible work from Iraq. Just unbelievable. So this is coming out with a null string, so load bitmap is not working. So DrawerGenie functions, so load prefs. Well, first off, let's have a look at the actual press file, just in case there's some issue there. DrawerGenie. That looks legit. Toolbar HD.iff. So, preference, load prefs. But prefs load. Okay. There's one extra value after the toolbar. Press save. Press toolbar, press. Use AISS. Oh. Use AISS. Did the wrong way around. Delete that. Undelete there. So it's literally loading in a 0. Yeah. Yeah. of arc 1. Okay, now let's try again. Toolbars found 3. Very good, very good. DrawerGenie show interface. Toolbar.iff. So still the default. So let's say toolbar HD. Save. Show interface again. Toolbar HD. Yeah, that's fine. So now remove. And let's go back in. Why? So toolbar HD to IFF and then 0. I swapped them round. Oh my god, why have I got it twice? Oh, Rob. That's how it ended up there twice. Oh, for the love of God. Toolbar use AISS. Toolbar use it. Yeah. Yeah. Show interface. Toolbar HD. Okay. Toolbar.iff. So let's set it to default. So this is my original toolbar. Let's run this. Is it? Oh. That's my original toolbar. Yes. Excellent stuff. Okay, cool. DrawerGenie, let's show interface, and let's switch that to toolbar HD, which is the dirty big giant one. And let's remove it. Oh, that. And then we compile it again. Let's see. DrawerGenie, well, let's have a look first anyway. Toolbar HD, so it's still selected. And let's stick it in here. Yes! Yes. So we can switch toolbars. That feels good. And everything's lining up slightly. Yeah, slight glitches there and stuff like that. Has to be sorted out. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there for this stream. I'm going to save the hell out of that. And yeah, there we go. So let me see. I'm just going to try and see what's going on here. Let me see who's on. My friend Chris is streaming at the moment. He's streaming some vintage Baldur's Gate. Well, Baldur's Gate 2. So I think we might go and give him a little raid, if that's okay. Now, where's my raid button gone? So, okay, yeah, cool. Well, listen, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for dropping in, everyone. Thanks for keeping me company and bearing with me as I kind of starting to find my feet again. Cool. Well, this guy is he's not an Amiga guy, but he's one of my good friends from back home. From you know, very much a nerdy guy, and loves his Baldur's Gate. He actually, we missed it. He has the thing he does in the streams is snack time at 11 p.m. So it's 11:15 now. But you know, and you place bets to see what kind of snack it is. It's nonsense. But anyways, yeah. So he's playing a bit of Baldur's Gate 2. Let's give him a raid. Where is he? Okay, let's give him a little raid. Cool. But yeah, like, listen, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate just being here, and I will. Where's my thing gone? I will talk to you soon. Bye bye. Good night.
We're just choosing the outcome, and the outcome is that donuts are legally sweets. Congratulations. Cry Before Dawn? I'm not familiar with it, I don't think. It's not immediately ringing a bell. Amiga Kami? Welcome, Raiders. You missed snack time. Technically, this is still snack time. It's the end of snack time. We're going to go back to the game. We're playing Baldur's Gate 2. And we're trying to find the ghost of a child in a graveyard. Huh. Cry Before Dawn. Cry Before Dawn. Let's just stick that into the old Google. Cry Before Dawn. Are you sure? Cry Before Dawn?